Welcome back to part 2, the last part of this equipment walkthrough video of Tessie. We are out sailing, we are visually out sailing on our way to Balta Sound in Shetland, and let's move on. Let's talk a little bit about life on board while I sail. So now I have shown you that I can see around the boat, but how do I get seen by other boats? So what do we have? So I obviously got the radar here, and I have AIS, and I have something called predict wind tracking, so people can see me on my website, my track. Go to my website and scroll down to the live map. When I'm active, you can find Tessie's position and live updated wind strength and direction. I have something cool called the WATCHIT, which is an internal chart in a computer where my GPS position is logged. And the WATCHIT computer it's a PC sitting right here, and it's connected to all of the systems here. And if I get close to AIS symbols or land, there's an AI voice talking to me through a speaker here, really loud, and it speaks to you and tells you if you're getting close to shore, if there's shallow water, if there are any ships coming close to you. It will sound an alarm if you don't listen to it and you get too close for comfort. A really loud alarm will go off and wake me up if I'm sleeping or whatever, if I'm not paying attention. So I'm still asleep, not waking up. 220 meters, 180 meters. Okay, I'm not. Oh, there we are. That's crazy. Yeah.
Danger, shallow water ahead.
But the WATCHIT screen itself, it's not supposed to be shown on your chart plotter. It's just it's a background system just working. So all you know is the voice that is speaking to you. It's a great system for safety, especially sailing alone. And a cool system together with the AIS is that I have something called augmented reality from Raymarine, and it's a little box sitting just in front of the bulkhead here, and it makes it possible to place the AIS symbols over the boats on camera, on my camera. So you can see, if you see a boat, there will be an AIS symbol just over it, telling its name and distance. Regarding AIS signals, I can now see AIS signals up to 300 nautical miles from my position, and that is with help of Predict Wind's data hub. It's a little white box that is connected to internet, and it picks up signals from up to 300 nautical miles from me and puts it down on my chart plotter. So this is us, and all the way up in the north of Norway now. We have a lot of boats. This one is 223 nautical miles away, and you can have all the information about the boat. And it also says Data Hub. That means that the signal comes from the Predict Wind Data Hub. So I say internet. Where do I get internet from? Obviously you have it on your phone, but I also have something called a Raymarine YachtSense link, and that is a 4G router together with a network switch. And a network switch, that means that I can connect all the Raymarine equipment into that. Like cameras and the WATCHIT and everything that is outside the chart plotters, and you can see all the different systems on the displays on the chart plotter. But the YachtSense here has its limitation on the 4G. You need to be close to shore, not too far, 10, 15, maybe 20 miles away. But outside that, you need satellite navigation. And I found that the Iridium Go is the easiest way to get satellite connection. It's just a little box sitting on the bulkhead here, and it makes me able to download weather reports through Predict Wind, the offshore app. So let's download the freshest weather reports. Let's see what's on the menu. And to give my tracking online on my, for example, my website, you can see my tracking as I go, and it's worldwide connection. And also you can make phone calls back to mom and dad and Celia, of course. So now to what sailwear I use when the wind picks up and the waves comes crashing over the boat. So I'm pretty simple in the way of dressing, as you might have seen on former videos. Actually, wool is the best to wear to keep the heat, but when I was a child, my mom forced me to wear our Norwegian national suit, you know, called bunad in Norwegian, and it was made by 100% wool. And I really hated the wool, the feeling of the itchy wool on my body and legs and stuff. And I was forced to wear it because we wear that in Constitution Day in Norway. And the feeling of the itchy wool has stuck with me until today, so I just can't wear it. That's why I wear my sweatpants and t-shirt. And when it gets a little bit colder, I wear my fleece jacket over that, and then the sailwear overall over that again. But I'm a pretty warm-blooded guy anyway. So I have one thin set for mild weather. So I will have to furl in the generator. And one set for medium weather, when the waves are starting to pick up and it rains and it's starting to get wet. And at last, when the waves really are crashing over the boat, 30, 40, 50 knots of wind, then I use the real heavy set of my foul weather gear. And it keeps you completely dry, so I'm really impressed with it. I know that it's King Neptune that has the control here, but my mind has accepted the environments. It's wild, it's just fucking wild. Wow, 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 wow. Shit. Fucking hell. Oh. So now to the question that I've been asked the most in my comment section on most of my YouTube films. Why I don't use a harness on a deck or a life vest. I've had this boat for 22 years and it's full of equipment on deck, winches and all kinds of stuff. So wearing the vest and the harness makes it really difficult to work on deck when the boat moves a little bit around. But when it's bad weather and the boat is really moving and I can sense that it's dangerous to go without the line, I of course use the line. And I also have this line from stern to bow on the boat, safety line, that I can click onto with the harness, and I can move all the way from stern to the bow. But it's a lot of obstructions and it takes more time to do the job on deck to get back to safety and the cockpit. So sometimes it's just easier to do it without the harness. So as you can see here, it slides, but then I have to change it because of this over here, and I need to go over here, and here the storm bag is in the way, and it can tangle up in all the winches here. It's just a lot of stuff on deck, so it's so much easier without it. I focus strongly on just staying on board and always clamp onto things, hold on to things. I have my own kind of climbing route along deck, grabbing onto winches and stanchion wires or the halyards or whatever. It's not too far in between because the boat isn't too big, so it's always something to hold on to. It would be another story on a big 40-50 foot cruiser with a clean deck with nothing to hold on to. But on my boat I feel very safe climbing on deck without the harness and up to a certain point until the weather gets bad. Then I will use the harness, but still I feel very comfortable going on deck even when the boat is really rocking around. So now Tessie is sailing, everything is working, navigation is on, we know where we are, we know where we're going, and all is good. So life on board. I have to eat some food, and I store all my food in the different cabinets around here. And I make it easy. I eat much of this real turmat. This is bacalao, and I use my water boiler here to add water to the dry food. Our refrigerator here, compressor is under there, and also a coffee machine here. And to power up those, I have this inverter under the chart table here, the gray one inside there. It's 1500 watts, that means 12 volts goes in from the batteries to the inverter, and out on the other side comes 220 volts. It's nice for comfort. And I have water, only cold water. I have 100 liters of water, this is 50 liters, a similar tank is on the other side here. But with the water tanks, there's one issue. The water pump only pump water from this tank. If the boat heels over to starboard like this, all the water in that tank will flow over to that tank. And I won't be able to pump the water out of this one because everything is lying here. To not have that happening, I have a vent or a valve down here. I don't know if you can see it, but I can close it off like this. and the water won't flow from here to there. After some time in the boat, I get sweaty and dirty, as all of us. I don't have any hot water here and not any professional shower, so I made my own. And it looks like that. It's very simple. I connect this to the water tap here, and I can have a beautiful cold water. Oh, the tanks are empty, but it will act. Oh, there we go. And I can take a beautiful ice cold shower in the cockpit while sailing. Here is the chart table and yeah, IIS and the satellite navigator and all the panels for the switches for all the equipment and gear off and on. This is where I sleep. Depending on which side the boat is heeling, I sleep either here or here. And I also can turn my nav station accordingly to which side I'm sleeping, so I always can have an eye on the screens here. And here is the head cabin. There is some water here because of a little moisture coming down from the hatch here, typical in winter time. But yeah, I never sleep here unless I'm tied up to some port. And here are cargo nets, which I stow all my equipment. And the Gennaker is stored in the head cabin here, so it's easy to get it throughout the hatch here on deck. Underway, it will get cold if you don't heat your cabin up. So I have a Webasto diesel heater, which is 4.5 kilowatts, and that's way sufficient enough to heat up the cabin here. And if I use engine, I go by engine. I use something called a defroster, and it takes cooling water from the engine and it circulates throughout the defroster, and out comes hot air, about 4 kilowatts as well, I think. As we jump over the big waves and rain is pouring down, water will eventually come inside the boat somewhere, or also condensation. And it will run down the walls here and gather up in the bottom of the boat. So I have made this big hatch now to be able to get all the water out if something comes in. And there's a couple of small compartments here, and I have a hatch for that, and also a hatch to access the seawater cooling valve for the engine. Many are asking me about my sleep pattern, but the truth is that I don't have any certain sleep pattern. It's so much things happening from time to time, and I just sleep when I can. And it goes by about 20-30 minutes. I put my alarm on the telephone, and it wakes me up, and I do my regular checks. If everything's good, I continue sleeping for another 20, maybe 30 minutes, all dependent on the situation and the weather and everything. When I don't sleep and there's not much happening, Tessie is sailing by herself, everything is good, I watch a lot of movies. And it's my tablet there is sitting on this smart bracket here, and just the same on the other side, dependent on which way the boat heels, which side I sleep in. And to keep everything alive, my phones and tablets, I have a wireless phone charger here from Scanstrut. They're really smart. And also here from Scanstrut with the cables, charging cables there. And I have one cable here to charge my what you call headlights, not headlights, but you know what I mean. And also a wireless charger out here. Now we have been sailing for many hours. The batteries are getting low, and we need to charge them. So what do we got? I have 2 solar panels on deck here, and they are each 50 watts, not much, but it's about 2-3 amps on a sunny day, and it helps for the consumption. So my main average consumption with all the necessary equipment on, heater, navigation lights, is about 15 to 18 amps an hour. But to boost the charging, I have a Watt&C hydro generator. It's delivering 500 watts on full, but doing 6 knots, about 6-7 knots, it charges with about 12 to 15 amps, I would say. So that's almost even out the consumption. So I won't charge the batteries that way maybe with my consumption, but it evens it and slows down the percentage of the battery. So I can sail for many hours longer. But in the worst case, I start my engine and charge the batteries that way. And it's about 3.5 hours, then the batteries are completely full again. All right, so we are closing into Balta Sound, and we need to do our anchor ready for the anchorage bay in Balta Sound on Shetland. So the first thing I do is to switch on the main button here, main switch. That's the main switch for the anchor, green light. And then I bring my remote control. I go forward to the anchor, we are in position. Then I release the tie up for the chain. Then I take this clamp off the anchor. It's pushing down on the anchor to make it take away the vibrations, but also keeping it in place. And I lower the anchor to the surface about. And now the cool stuff begins, because I can switch on my anchor cam. And there we go. And I have this display here with up and down buttons from Quick. And now I can push down and the anchor goes down here. And when I'm done anchoring, want to get out of there, I take it up again. And then I can see on the camera when the anchor is up. And it's self-righting. And it's stuck. And the anchor motor is connected to a powerful red top 50 amp battery. It's like a starter battery. That means that you can really abuse it like an anchor winch will do with a heavy anchor that's maybe stuck and you need a lot of power over a longer span of time. So that's a strong battery. And the Quick Olympic anchor is 20 kilos and it's attached with 80 meters of stainless steel chain. And the winch is 1000 watts on 12 volts and it can pull 480 kilos with a max load of 930 kilos. So that's good enough. So if I anchor at night and I come in at night, and then I have this clip-on bow light. It's incredibly strong, so it can light up several hundred meters in front of you. And Raymarine also provides anchor alarm. You just go to, let's see, anchor, and you start anchoring, and you can make the setups and for range and how much chain you have out. And you can feel safe as the alarm will go off if you move outside that zone that you put in the top ladder. So now we are well anchored and we need to get to shore, don't we? So I have this beautiful little TrueKit tender. Let me show you how it works. I'm having a hose through the hatch here to reach the boat. So I'm testing my new TrueKit 2.5 meter dinghy here. E-propulsion, 1.4 horsepower electric engine on it. And I love these quick release wheels. Pull them up and down like that. Really freaking awesome. Good speed, 4.5 knots. Very happy with it. And a nice feature is with the e-propulsion electric engine, I can charge it on board, so I don't need to worry to get on shore to get fuel for it. This is the place I store the battery for the e-propulsion, and this is the charger. And this is connected to the inverter, of course. So I'm not depending on going on shore to get the gasoline. It's out of the way. When I'm way off grid and I need to fix something on board, I can't depend on other people to help me. So I'm alone, so I need to have tools for everything on the boat. So I have also this big briefcase with all the tools needed, whatever happens. And for the engine, I have spare parts for diesel filters. This is oil, cooling water, drive belts for the alternators, spare impeller, oil filter and diesel filter, and even some extra diesel hoses. I also bring a foot pump if the electrical one should fail. For fire protection, I carry a fire blanket, a smoke detection alarm, a box of foam, a powder fire extinguisher, and a carbon monoxide alarm. And of course also a picture of our king and queen, and my big hero Roald Amundsen. So that's for managing myself, but if things goes really bad and I can't manage myself, I have to have a lot of safety equipment on board. So I have my emergency beacon here, worldwide coverage, my VHF DSC, so I can call by voice, but if you're in a hurry you can just push the distress button here and it will sound an alarm for every other boat around you to hear. Floating handheld VHF, satellite communication, and I also carry a thick survival suit and a life raft, and I have done a full video on all of my safety equipment, link in video description, you can check it out. So I think that's pretty much it. If I miss something, please make a comment in the comment section. I'll try to answer it. I read every comment, so I'm really happy for the support you give me by writing comments. I love to read them, good or bad. So next video I will do something a bit crazy. I will try to sail to Fair Isle. That's a tiny little island between Shetland and Orkney Island, and I will leave all my navigation off that I've been going through now, and I will try to hit the little spot only by using compass. So that's as close as I dare to go to what the Vikings did back in the days, only using a little needle compass and maybe also a sunstone. And they were just hoping for the best. Impressive. Okay, subscribe, like, support me on Patreon, donate any amount you want on PayPal, or at least just watch my videos. It helps a lot, and for the algorithms, like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in March on the next adventure. Bye.